So this is the second link. But my laptop will soon switch off. Oh fuck. This is not even the right time at all. So I might just do this one very fast. You should you endeavor to watch the first part. That's where I develop. Let me just go over it. Let me just go over it. So what happens is that now intro to web development, like introduction to web development. Well, you all know that web development is building websites and web apps. So every app or website you see today starts with HTML. That's one thing you should know. Any app or website you just see, even Jumia, Google, Chrome, they all start with HTML. Yeah, HTML is the foundation. Next thing, what is the web? This is a question I asked on the group that only few or one person was able to answer. So the web is a collection of websites. Websites live on the internet. We access them using browsers like Chrome, Edge, and Safari. A web is a collection of websites. Now, if you go to Chrome, you can search a lot of things, but they'll bring in form of websites. That's it. So it's a collection of websites, and they all live on the internet. Without the internet connection, you can't even access them. So you can access them using Chrome, browsers like Chrome, Edge, and Safari. Safari is for those that use Apple, while Edge, Chrome are for those that use what's all this thing? HP or normal laptops, phones. You get. So we have examples. We have Google, YouTube, Jumia, Edge. There are a lot. If this Jumia now, some of you might be asking that how is it a website or something? Dreamer has web app and has an app. When I say web app, it's just like website too. But well, let me just call it websites for you. So they have websites. So what is web development? Web development is building and maintaining websites. Take notes. I say maintaining websites, not only building. You have to not maintain website. That's web development for you. And web development, we have two parts. We have the front end and the back end. The front end deals with what users see, like buttons, text, images, and some other things like that. While the backend is what happens behind the scene, like login system, database, payment. When I say login system, when you log into a website or a web app, your information, who are the people that are going to help you keep it? Yeah, they are your backend developers. When you log in, like what you see, when you want to log into a website or a web app, what you see is the front end, like everything you can see there, those button, input, and likes. So when you now, sorry, let me just sign up. When you now sign up, the information, those your name and Gmail, is the backend developer that is going to save it to a database. So you can use to re-log in any other time you want to log in. And payments, something like OP. What you can see, you go to OP app or website, what you can see is the front end. So the payment method or system is the backend that builds that part. You get? So what are front end tools? You have front end no, what are front end tools? We have front end tools that are HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Those are basically what front end tools are. While back end tools are Node.js, PHP, Python. There are lots, but these are three I'll just mention for you guys. So this training starts with front end and HTML is the foundation. Back end yet. So what is HTML? HTML means hypertext markup language. It structures content on the web. When you go to a website now, those texts you see, they are just like the structure of the website. Without them, that website cannot be live. You not even see it as website, you just see it as blank stuff. So use HTML to structure those things, like those text button input on the website. The key idea is just that HTML is not a programming language, it is a markup language. Know that now because most people use that to catch some web developers who don't know. HTML is not a programming language, it's just a markup language. You get? And there is a reason why it is not a programming language. That should be our assignment. You will come and submit it under this live stream. Why is HTML not a programming language? Submit it under this live stream, or you should submit it on the group. I'm going to paste the link. For my laptop is already low. So let me just rush. Real life examples. HTML is like the skeleton of human. Without it, not stand. No, without the skeleton, you cannot stand up. The flesh cannot move a step without the skeleton bone. So that's just HTML. So what HTML is used for? HTML is used for creating text on websites, adding images, creating links, forms. I've said those before. You have a login page, news website. You just use HTML to structure those things on the website. That's all. How a website is built. Exactly. HTML is for the structure. Why CSS is for design, like colors, the colors, the position. That's what the CSS does. Like maybe you want this social thing, the text should be on the left, on the right, on at center, on the edge. That's what CSS does. Why JavaScript like interaction and coming. Seems like real life analogies that HTML like house bricks. Without those bricks, the house cannot be structured. You don't even know that an house is here. A house is here, sorry. So with CSS is like the painting. That will make it look beautiful and attractive. So JavaScript like the door, switches, and lights. No, a house. You see a house and you go to a house and you cannot find all those light stuff. You feel like this house does not even look modern, like all this village stuff. You get. So JavaScript that will just make it functional. What is a browser? A browser reads HTML and displays it. Examples: Chrome, Firefox, and Edge. So how does a browser read HTML and displays it? You know the way you understand English or Yoruba or Igbo, that's the way browser understands HTML. Now, someone that does not let's just use this real life analogy. I understand HTML, I understand English. Someone that does not understand English, if I speak it to him, you cannot be able to interpret it. You will not be able to interpret it something like visually in his brain. But he's going to be able to interpret it visually in his brain. Like if I say, picture this in your mind now. You'll be able to picture it. Because I'm speaking in a language that you understand. That's what the browser does with HTML. So this is exactly the browser understands HTML the way your humans understand language. You get. So this is the first look at HTML. Just type H1 hello world P. This is my first website. So in the next class, we are going to be going deep into real coding. Like we are going to be coding in real life. We could use we're going to go into the basics of HTML. We're going to go into the basics of HTML. I think yeah, we start with after that. After HTML, we're going to learn CSS, then JavaScript. You get. Then there are some things after that. Like as a beginner, you don't need to even worry about that. So we're going to start with HTML in the next class. You should not panic about that. So what do you need to start with? You need the computer or a phone. So if you're a phone user, use Pack Editor. While a website user, use VS Code. Those Pack Editor and VS Code, they are called code editors. A code editor is a place whereby you can write your codes and that where you can write your code. Basically, you can write your codes. Something like VS Code now, the code editor. We have VS Code, which for laptop, VS Code, Atom, Sublime, and a lot. You can use it on web. So for phone, one I recommend the most is SPCK editor, Spark editor. The others I don't like them. You get. So you don't need to be good at math or to be smart just because to start web development. To be a web developer, like something that you understand very well, just be consistent. You get. Though you don't need to be good at math. Just be consistent. If you be a very good web developer. You get. That's just it. So what students will learn in this boot camp is HTML basics. You learn the basics of HTML. You'll be able to build simple web pages, websites. You know Chrome now. I can just go and even create after we are done. I can just go and create a replica of Chrome, like just the UI. UI means user interface, like what users can see. I can just go and build it. You get. So understand how websites work, pay for CSS and JavaScript. Every professional website developer starts with HTML. That's something you should keep in your mind. Don't be in a hurry. Like I want to be Mark Zuckerberg in 1 day. It is not possible. Sorry, it is not possible. You get. So they all started with HTML. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, they all start with simple HTML pages. It is now you see that they've upgraded that you now think that oh These things are big things. They are not big things. They all start with HTML. So the next class should be HTML structure and basic tags. As I said before, in your next class, we are going to be touching the real coding. Like we learn basics of HTML and basic tags. You get. So my name is Mustafa Adegbite. I'm a front-end developer. So when you see someone who builds websites, like someone who builds website that knows that yes, this person knows how to build a website, we call them front-end developers. Ah,